So if you didn't hear the story today, it was a pretty big deal this morning. Certainly a big deal if you've ever received a ticket for, from Photo Radar. A Quebec judge basically said, yeah, this is not going to work because someone had challenged this actually. And this judge, decided that, okay, look, as far as I'm concerned, he stipulated basically that speeding based on evidence gathered from Photo Radar is two things. Number one, inadmissible, and number two, illegal. This judge ruled that since no police officer was witness to the speed limit being broken, in other words, there was no person there to see it, it is therefore not possible to confirm the proper calibration of the photo radar device at the moment that the photo was taken. So if you've ever seen the police on the side of the road holding those like mobile photo radars, that's a human being who can say, yes, I was there, I checked it, it was working fine. But with photo radar, since it's completely automated, this judge said, okay, so we can't verify it necessarily. And as a result of this, it's possible many photo radar tickets could be thrown out altogether. At least that's what we hope. Let's find out. Avi Levy is, of course, with Ticket 911. I think I referred to him as Ticket 411. Ticket 911 to give us some more information on this. So, Avi, is it that simple? You mean you get a photo radar ticket now and you're good to go? You don't have to pay it?
Well, no, it's not. It's not that straightforward. What the judge said is he opened the door to the fact that there's a possibility of hearsay in the evidence, and if there is hearsay, it should not be admissible. In this case, he judged that there was hearsay, therefore it wasn't admissible, and he threw it out.
Well, why would this case be different from any other case where you get a ticket from Photo Radar? There's not a human being there.
It's not that it would be different. It's that, first of all, if you want to bring this defense up, you would have to raise it as a defense when you're fighting the case. So, for example, the people that would have paid their tickets already, it's too late for that. They've already pleaded guilty and admitted guilt and paid the ticket.
So they can't go back. Okay.
That's right. For people that have a photo radar ticket and have yet to fight it, this is good news for them because it now gives them a defense that they can use in order to fight the ticket.
I'm going to take a wild guess. You've probably been to court to defend people on photo radar tickets before and have not been successful because we haven't heard necessarily of anyone using this defense before. What was your sort of practice in the past? What did you do to try to get out of these tickets?
Well, in the past, actually, it was very similar to this. In the past, see, what they use is the same type of radar that they would use when they're stopping you on the side of the road. The only difference is that it's fixed, it's in a housing, and there's no police officer there to go and hold it. However, the radar should be calibrated and needs to be calibrated just like any other radar. And what we were able to ask for in the past is, for example, calibration or maintenance logs or maintenance reports to see if it was maintained or not. And if it's not maintained, then you would have some negotiating power. But in this case, the judge went even further and said, they've got to prove that there was a sign before or after the speed zone. And the proof showed that the police officers don't actually go to check it, but they rely on someone that went to check it and sort of writes to them that, yes, there's a sign there. And that is what's hearsay, what they didn't see for themselves, what somebody else reports to them. And that's why the judge says you cannot base yourself on what somebody else told you in order to issue somebody a ticket because you're not certain that the facts are true.
So this will now become the basic defense for photo radar tickets, I guess.
This will become a defense amongst others that people will be using, yes. Probably the more popular one until such time as either the law is changed or they make an amendment to the rules and say that you do have to or you don't have to or whatever the case is.
Right.
As the law stands now, it's a defense and it's going to be a problem.
So with respect to it now being based on what this judge's ruling says, which allowed one person to beat a photo radar ticket, if I get a photo radar ticket today and I will go to contest it and this will be my defense. But the government, I would imagine at some point, is going to appeal this decision.
The government at one point is going to have to do something. Otherwise, it's going to be a problem. Or the police officers will have to go and start checking the machines on a regular basis, and somebody will have to go out there and check if there's actually a speed sign before or after, which is, I think, what the judge was saying should have been done.
Wait, are you saying that that's now part? I know these signs already exist where it says vitesse when you're about to go through one of these. That's part of the law? So in other words, if there's no sign up there, that's illegal as well?
Well, that's always been the case.
I didn't know that.
When you have a speed trap, you need to clearly have the speed posted so that an individual driving knows, I'm approaching a zone that's changing in speed and I need to slow my speed down. If it's not sufficiently posted, that was always and is always a defense.
Okay, but in this, I mean, even if you to put up a speed limit, say reducing it from 90 to 70 kilometers an hour, without the sign saying that there's now photo radar, wouldn't that be the same thing? Without warning you that photo radar was coming up, just that the speed limit was going to slow
You
down?
would also have to say what the speed is. It's not sufficient to warn that photo radar is coming up, but you also have to say what the speed is.
Mm-hmm.
You can be going from 100 down to 80, from 100 down to a 70 or a 60 zone. I mean, so you have to post the speed.
Okay. So for people now who are hearing this, who have photo radar tickets that they've gotten and think this is good news, it's not a guarantee, obviously, of any kind. We don't know that the government, well, you think the government is going to appeal or do something, but for now, they would still go to you and you would go to court and try to get them off. And this would be the, I'm trying to say the excuse.
This decision is turned over, this decision will remain valid.
So it's valid until it's turned over.
Correct.
Which means you can go contest any photo radar ticket you want and use this as a defense.
I think that's what people are going to be doing after this judgment came out this morning.
I guess you're going to get busy, huh?
Busier, I guess.
I guess, yeah. Avi, thanks so much. Avi Levy over at Ticket 911. So, yeah, even though and until, as he said, this is appealed and the decision is somehow changed or until something happens here, unless they start assigning police officers to check these photo radar units every day and make sure that they're actually working or have been calibrated, if you get a photo radar ticket, maybe this is your way out. Better get one soon, because I imagine the government's not going to sit on this for too long before they decide to change the rules somehow, because this brings in a ton of money every year in Quebec. But maybe that's potentially some good news. Don't speed, but I'm just saying if you get caught.